I'm Scrambled Greg from Pigeons playing ping pong, and I'm going to show you my gear, starting with my PRS. I love Paul Reed Smith guitars. This is a custom 24. It just feels right, you know, and whatever guitar you want, it's got to feel like home, and this is my little security blanket. I love the blue. I love everything about it, and I could go on and on. Locking tuners makes life easy. But let's start with the amp before I show you my pedal board here. This is a boutique company in Chicago called Victoria. I used to play a Fender Hot Rod Deluxe for years, and I needed to graduate from that. It's a great amp, but it was time. We were touring enough that I needed something road tested and ready, and I couldn't find what I was looking for until one day we happened to be jamming at a friend of a friend's house, and he had the smaller version of this, and I was like, oh, there it is, my tone that I've been looking for. It's got a really beautiful built-in vibrato, which I'll show you at the board, because there's a pedal that runs around from here to, I leave the reverb on with this thing, very light, you know, just a little bit, but the reverb is just beautiful. In fact, while we're talking about it, I got this pedal here. I'll turn on the reverb, and this is pretty light, but to show you what it's doing, the vibrato. Airy and beautiful, but I like to keep it a little lighter when I'm doing stuff. But if sometimes you see me run back to the amp and it gets trippy, that might be what I'm tweaking. So this is my pedal board. I've had the same board for a long time with a couple new additions. So let's see. I got a Dunlop Crybaby. You know, pretty standard wah pedal, which I use more than anything because we play funk and it's how you get funky with it. And I use this in combination with a couple other pedals too. For instance, the Eventide H9 is a new pedal I got that has totally opened up my different sounds I can make. This is just like a basic reverb, but when it's open, sparse funk, it adds this little hush to it. You hear that hush on the end as opposed to, it just makes it deeper. But this Eventide pedal, the H9, has hundreds of sounds. I have 17 programmed in here, and you can plug it into your computer and change all the parameters. It's really cool. So that's a pretty simple one, but there's some really crazy stuff on here, like a flute sound. Pretty cool. And then one day I was just messing around and I accidentally didn't turn off the flute. I just went chugga chugga just to autopilot, and I noticed this. Which sounds like nonsense when I'm playing by myself, but when we're doing exploratory jams and I can layer that in, it's pretty cool. This one's fun too. It's called spelunking. And it just the delay kind of just travels and travels on itself. Some more functional ones though, this is a nice 70s kind of stratty almost chorus, whereas this is even thinner. It's minor, but us musicians love tiny little differences. Like a chorus like this compared to a chorus like this. Those of you at home are like, that sounds the same. And believe me, I've been there watching other guitarists talk about sounds, but it's different, I promise. This has really been new since I got this pedal, and it's, our band doesn't have a keyboardist, so I feel like with Jeremy's playing lead, I need to keep that in mind and fill out sonic space in some ways like a keyboardist would. This is called a shimmer, and when I found it searching through all these sounds, I was so stoked because it's just glorious, and that kind of gave us a different sound to have in our jams and whatnot. It's in one of our songs too, in Feet on the Ground, a newer song. I play that in the middle section and I loop it, and then I can continue to add more. So there's a rotary, there's a tremolo, which I started using a lot. You just have to hold down this right pedal to add a tap tempo. So I can set to any tempo I want. It's another one that I use the wah with too. Bringing it in and out so it's not so like cut and dry. I love doing that. And this next one is really cool. It's called like, I changed some of these names so I knew what they were. It's like a reggae thing where like it does like a pop-a-chop for you. So it's like just one stab. And I think like that's cool. I know what it was going for, but what I learned is if I play through it, it creates this whole like bouncy textural thing, almost again like how keyboard might sound like. And if you take off that pedal, I'm just going on. I think that's awesome. Other things that you might have heard recently, and this is just one pedal, there's an octave. And the cool thing is you can start to switch to your next one while leaving it on. So like I'm still on octave, but I moved over to the fourth, so all I just need to do is click this and I'll have fourths. The fourth interval of the note I'm playing. And then something I always love from other bands, like Mike Gordon does this a lot, a big old bass bomb. I don't play bass, but check this out. So like, yeah, like I'll play with, like, I feel like you do this like once a show, just like a big old, threw a little delay on there. It's really fat, it's really fun. So that's just one pedal, you know. To the left of it is an MXR Dynacomp, just a compressor, you know. And I skipped this one. The C4 by Source Audio is awesome. I used to have a Qtron, like that Jerry tone, and I found one that not only has that vibe, the like auto wah sound, but it also has a bunch of others. I mean, again, some different types. Kind of like a laser, more plucky. There's another. A little deeper. But then if you hold, there's 3 settings that I just used on this little knob. If I hold it down, I get 3 more settings. And again, this is one where you can plug into the computer and choose your parameters. And it's got crazy stuff. Like not only does it have the Qtron vibe, but it also has like a horn. Which is really cool. What else is there on here? I don't use this that much. Maybe I should tonight. Only if it makes sense. And then this one is just bonkers. It's like we're no longer playing guitar. So that pedal rules. After that, we have, this is like a custom clean boost that my friend at Noise Kick FX made. It just gives me a little more body, especially when everyone is like peaking really hard and my like I don't want to like add an effect per se. I just want a little more oomph to keep up. So this is normal. Here is the boost. Just gives it like a clean oomph as opposed to like a drive pedal, which is next to it, which gives it a lot of grit. So I used to have a tube screamer for a long time, and then one time when I was playing an Everyone Orchestra gig, and my buddy Rob Compa from Dopapod told me about this pedal and let me use it in the gig, and I fell in love. So it's just a great, like, it's not as gritty as some of the other drives I've heard. It's a little less like compressed. People love that sound. For me, this just feels like me. So I love it. It's by Hermida. And then MXR, I've had this Phase 90 since like I've had pedals in general. Sometimes I can roll it up with my foot. So like in a song like Penguins, I'll have to move it on the fly from here to here. So that's pretty easy to do. And then this is a Giga delay by, it's a DD20 by Boss, and it's another delay pedal. It has a tap tempo attached to it, so I can tap in whatever beat we're playing. Just a basic tap, a basic delay rather. I have reverse guitar on here. Another setting that I actually asked Rob Compa about, and that 91 is the BPM that worked well for. And then if you throw like a little delay on that, it gets pretty wild. Some more delays, and then like a quick little slap. Well, but what I use this for the most is looping, actually. So if in this first setting here, if you you can loop anything by clicking it and then clicking it off, and it'll loop. I'll show you. In fact, I'll show you what I do a lot live. Sometimes I'll use that shimmer that I was showing you, and I'll just lightly put that in the background. So I started the loop, I ended the loop. Now it's playing. And then I often use a volume sweep on my hand to add more in there. And you just hold your foot back on that pedal and you can add more. So I got the shimmer in there. I can do a little wah. Typically, I would use a delay on it too to make it like disguised. Right? And then you can just like add all sorts of stuff. And that way, you know, if we're like doing a jam and I want to do some like guitar work with Jeremy, like I want to like match and harmonize his licks and stuff, but I don't want there to be nothing in the background. You know, I don't want to, it's my job to kind of fill the space sometimes while he's doing lead and stuff. So if I lay this down, it frees me up to like join him if he's doing any like licks that I can join, or just, you know, play, keep the rhythm going. So this is almost like again, it's like my keyboard on the floor here, which is really fun. This is where I often add like tremolo, depending on how psychedelic we're getting, you know, and use the wah again to just be like, oops, that was the wrong, I wasn't looking, I played the wrong chord. Let's hear how it sounds. We're getting out there. Fortunately, it's just me, so I'm not affecting anyone. And this is also where it's fun to do my accidental little flute scratches, what I've heard the fans kind of call as alien birds. Right? Strippy. And then what I'm hearing right now, yeah, so I can kind of do my thing here, and then when I'm done, just one of my favorite things about this Nemesis delay is the dotted eighth setting. It makes like straightforward notes, like played just on the beat, bounce around in the coolest way. So all I'm going to do is go like pentatonic. But check this out. Oops. It's so awesome. I've heard so many guitarists do this for so long, I never could, and I got this pedal and set it right, and I use the wah often a lot with it, just kind of go. And again, I'm just playing, and when you put the delay on, it's awesome, and it's really fun to play. I've been taking some solos with it, which can be a lot, but also really fun. I can't get enough of that. But also there's normal delays and stuff on there too, but man, thank you, Source Audio. Sure, okay. No, we don't. I'm Greg from Pigeons playing ping pong, and I'm showing you my board today, and I want to talk about two pedals that are just some of my favorite, both by Source Audio. The first is the Nemesis delay, and I've only had it for a while, but not only does it have like classic delays that you can tap in with the tap tempo, I love the dotted eighth setting. It takes like straightforward on the beat notes and makes it just flurry around and bounce around in the coolest way. And I'll often use my wah to like duck it in and out, so it's kind of psychedelic. And again, I'm just doing, but it sounds like so much more. You know, work smart, not hard. They also make an awesome auto wah amongst many other sounds in the C4. I used a Qtron for the longest time, and I found this pedal that not only has that auto wah tone, like that everyone loves, but it also has like hundreds of other options, including like a horn. Crazy. It gets really out there. Like this is another cool one. And then like we could like not even be playing guitar. We're like in, you know, glitch computer land. So not only does it have those crazy tones, it also has super functional ones, different types of auto wahs that I use, but that's just, you can put 6 on here on this particular pedal, but there's so many different options you can program to it. A little more plucky auto wah. This sounds like a laser to me. Got a nice cut, and then like a more classic like tone that maybe Jerry Garcia rings a bell when you're. And yeah, I mean, I could use both of these pedals all day long. So thank you, Source Audio. You've made life fun for me. And I can switch between my regular vocals and this vocal pedal using the radial hotshot. It's just kind of like a mic switcher. So when I click it onto B, it jumps over to this vocal pedal, and then back to A, we're back to clean vocals for the crowd. That's the basics, you know. Over here I do have a TC Helicon Voice Play Live. That's actually, it runs into my microphone, so it allows me to be a demon or a little girl or Popeye or Barry White. I got this when we did Daft Side of the Moon, and Daft Punk had a lot of like auto-tuney vocals and like robot vocals, and I got this pedal for that, and since then have used it for just like general wackiness. I use this when we play One More Time by Daft Punk for that like auto-tune, like one more time, but like that's not great, but when I sing it into that with that, it actually sounds like that. So yeah, that's the basic gist. I love playing with this stuff, but I'm also pretty aware that a lot of musicians get lost in their pedals. So once I'm set, you got to look up and say what's up and see if they're digging it, you know? So that's my rig, and I'm sticking to it for now. I got to tell you about the Beanie Babies, though. And they're not just random things, okay? I mean, they're great, but let me explain. On the left, this Beanie Baby is called Goldie. On the right, this Beanie Baby is called Cubby by the company. Those happen to also be my children's names. My son's name is Robert, but we call him Cubby. My daughter is Goldie. And that only works if you name your children something that maybe a stuffed animal might be named as well. And then my wife loves cats and dogs and foxes and everything. But she's the main cat in my life. And then I have my kids by name always with me at the show because I miss them dearly, but they know I love to play, so I get to kind of bring them with me.